Boom! From zero to nearly $2,000 of monthly recurring revenue on my Skool community in just 1 month. And a lot of you folks asked me how I did this. What were the exact steps I took to get from that? What kind of product I'm selling? How I found my clients? And how I was able to get them onto Skool and pay for all of that. So a lot of you asked me those questions, and so I'm gonna take a little bit of time in this video to show you exactly that and hopefully answer all your questions. But before I do that, you may wonder where I am right now. So let me just show you quickly where we are here. I am here in Canada, North America, and it's cold and freezing. So let me just get back inside so I can show you all of that in the video. Let's go. Boom. Boom. There you go. Different setup here with slightly more intimate, and it's not freezing as out there. So let's have a look at what we have here. So this is why you want to know this, how I was able to get to nearly $2,000 of monthly recurring revenue, and how I was able to get from zero to that 1900 MRR in just 1 month. Let me put it here, in 1 month. There you go. So I'm gonna tell you everything that I did, all the steps that I've gone through, and answer some of the questions that you guys had. If you found my if you found me on the Skool games, you probably discovered me with some of the posts that I made in the middle of January. So like for example, after 2 weeks I made the first 820, and after sort of at the end of the month I was able to sign my fifth client. So you probably discovered me with one of those two posts, or just maybe just discovering the video right now. And so I'm going to walk you through the entire story. A lot of you guys here shot a lot of questions, all these kind of things, and so I'm going to sort of answer those questions here again and explain to you all the process that I've gone through and how I was able to make this possible. A little bit of context with my Skool community. So you have here the numbers, but you may be interested in some of the details of the community. So as of today, I have 5 paid members still. These are the two kinds of pricing that I have right now. This is the current price because I sort of raised the price. Every 3-4 members, I raised the price. And you can see as well, there are 8 free members. The reason why I have those 8 free members is because for each paying members, so one paying member has access to 2 seats. And so because I work with co-founders, and sometimes there are like 2 people, and so I give them like an extra free seat on the community, and so that's why you have those 8 members. So where did all of this started and how I was able to get to that particular point? Well, we have to fly a little bit back, actually a lot back. So I'm just gonna go all the way here. And we were in July 2024, and this is probably where I'm going to lose like 80% of you guys, but please hold. Just hold a minute. So the reason why I want to pinpoint this particular milestone is because July 2024 is where I started my company. And before that, I used to be an international consultant engineer for big tech, a big US tech company. And so July 2024, I decided to create my own business, and so I built an offer, and my expertise is around software engineering, startups. And so I wanted to help first-time founders So first-time founders, ideally SaaS. And SaaS, for those who don't know what it means, is software as a service. So typically, if you're using Netflix, that's a SaaS. Boom. And so that's pretty much my sort of focus. And I built an offer around this. And when I built my offer around this, the first thing I needed to do was testing the offer. Boom. Testing the offer. And so for those who don't know me, my positioning is slightly more precise. So my value proposition is life is too short to build something nobody wants. And very few people know this, especially if you're not from the startup world. But in the startup world, there's about 43% of startups that builds something nobody needs. And so one of the really important thing that I push a lot with my clients is they should test as fast as possible and as often as possible. And so I did it with my own offer. I've tested it. I presented it to a couple of people. So the first thing that I did is I sent my offer to 20 people on my WhatsApp list, on my WhatsApp, to gather feedback. See if it was clear, see if there were any sort of natural objections. And I asked for referrals. So in that list of 20 people, there were my former colleagues. Boom. Which is why I mentioned you before what I used to do before 2024. So I reached out to my colleagues from a big tech company, those who still working there and those who left, and I presented them my offer, gathered feedback, and see if I could eventually get some form of referral. That's the first thing that I did. This actually got me a 14K contract. I would say about a month and a half after, but that was not related to this particular Skool community that was building. But still, that's a good thing to do. So if you want to try to make money fast, that's one thing that you can try to reach out to your former colleagues, friends and family, etc. So I did this to try to sort of work on the offer a little bit. Then I did quite a lot of content specifically on LinkedIn, but I'll be honest, it didn't work that much. Content on LinkedIn, and it didn't work that much. Was it because I was not good about it, or I was not clear enough about it? These kind of things. At this stage, I can't really tell you. But it wasn't working. To be honest, it wasn't working. What happened though, that sort of kickstarted everything, was doing live events. And so what the feedback I had from LinkedIn from friends and families and surrounding was that when I was talking, me talking was better than my post. And so it got me thinking, and sort of get back to a little bit of my experience. But a long time ago, I used to do a lot of conferences and pitching and stuff like that. So back in the days, I won like a super challenge, a technological challenge. I was also competing, and I pitched to the CEO of Microsoft. When back in the days when it was Steve Ballmer. I also did a couple of challenge, one called the X Prize Global Learning Challenge. And I was very fortunate because at that time, I think it was 2016. There you go, 2016. 2016, I did the X Prize Global Learning Challenge, and it was godfathered by Elon Musk. And I was really close to get funded up to $1 million for this. So I'm just dropping you some of the juicy photos here. You can tell, boom, here's Elon, godfathering the competition, X Prize Global Learning Challenge. And this is me and my team back in the days. And so I did a lot of pitching, conferences, talking to a lot of people, and I'm really natural in talking, getting people to know me, work with people, etc. And so one of the feedback that I had creating that content for LinkedIn, mostly posts and images, was that you should do more videos or more face-to-face events so that people can really get your energy and how you can support them. And so that's exactly what I did. I started to chase a couple of events, and where I live, so Montreal, Canada, I started to have a look at the local events. And I wanted to do co-located events because I didn't want to do online stuff. I really wanted to get quality time with people, and so I had a look at the local events, and I found a couple of stuff, and the one I found was stuff like LinkedIn Local. So it's actually people from LinkedIn also inviting me to these kind of things, and also found events around solopreneur events, and startup events. And this was perfect because all this was around my avatar. Startup events. Boom, there you go. And so I was able to start to meet people, discuss with a bunch of cool folks. There you go. I'm going to drop one of the photos here. Start talking, meeting a couple of folks. It's really great. So the guy on the left invited me to the event, introduced me to a bunch of other guys and stuff like that. And then conversations after conversation, I started presenting myself to a couple of folks. And I went to the same kind of events, the same sort of brand of event multiple times, so that people can recognize me and sort of start get their mental model that, oh, this is the startup advisor guy. He is the startup advisor guy. Boom. The startup advisor guy. Boom. There you go. Started to get like my mental model in people's head, essentially, so that they know me, they know I'm the startup advisor guy. And so when they were sort of discussing with other people, then they would meet someone that would be my avatar. They would say, hey, you should actually talk to this guy. He's a startup advisor. And that's exactly what happened. During one of those events, one of the guy, actually this guy here, this guy here, boom, had a conversation with a new member at the event, and that new member said, hey, I'm building a startup, etc. And this guy said, wait, you need to talk to the startup advisor guy. Boom, to me. And so I got a direct session, meet a potential client, and that potential client, I was able to have quality time with him and discussing about his project and stuff like that. And so what happened was I gave him free help. So he was stuck with this company with a very particular sales problem, preventing him from closing. And so what happened was we took about I would say 30 minutes. It was about 30 minutes as a sort of free private consultation. Free private consultation, and it was happening at the event. We went on the side, found a table, started to talk. I always carry my tablet with me. You guys can't see it. I always carry my writing tablet with me so I can sort of do consultations on demand. I gave this guy a free consultation, and what happened was, a couple of weeks later, he sends me a message. And you know what? Let me find the... Okay, there you go. I found it. So, boom. So I gave him that coaching, and after a little while, he sends me a couple of messages. I think I was traveling back to Europe for another gig, and I got this message. It's in French, so I'm gonna translate it for you. But you're gonna have to trust me. But you can always pause it and put it into your GPT. But what happened was, after I sort of helped him, I got this message where it's telling me that he sold 3 all-inclusive AI program, which was nearly about 30K USD. So he made 30K USD after our 30-minute session, where I sort of improved his pitch and closing frame. And so what happened naturally after that is that he wanted to work with me on a normal basis, on a regular basis, and get coached. So what happened was, here, just to summarize a little bit, I gave something free, gave free insights, then they made money, then they wanted to work with me. They wanted more. And so at this point, what happened was I made an offer. I made them my offer. And what I did was I discounted heavily my offer. So huge discount. So usually I would charge between 15 and 1,500 and 2,000 for my consulting. So 1,500 to 2,000 for my consulting. But as you saw at the beginning of the video, that's absolutely not the kind of price that I have right now. And the reason behind this is because I'm still heavily discounting my price. And so what I did was that I said, okay, I am gonna give you an irresistible offer, and I'm gonna charge you 350 plus 10% of each contract signed, plus I want a testimonial video so that I can use that later, and I also need you to plus give me your KPIs, performance KPIs, data, and stuff like that. And the reason why I did this instead of going with the full pricing was because I never tested my offer before. I never tested my program before. I tested my offer, but I never tested my product. The offer was definitely a check, but the product wasn't. So I needed to bulletproof this. And I also needed to have testimonials and data so that I can use that to leverage my marketing and my acquisition. And so what happened was they said yes, obviously, because that was an irresistible offer. So 350 a month. Sorry, let me put this here. 350 a month plus commission, plus a testimonial video, plus access to the KPIs. So they said yes, and we started working. And what happens was these guys referred me to another group, and I made sort of the same offer to this group. Boom. And what happened was these guys, the second one, connected me to another group, referred me to another group, and so on and so on. And so what happened here, So what happened here is that I started to build an interesting base of customer that would sort of referring me, and up to the point where I was getting a lot of referrals. Let me show you that. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, there you go. So here's my referral folder. It's not the full I don't have all the videos in there. I'm still sort of processing some of those videos, but you can see that it's quite filled with a lot of referrals. So each people here send me like a personal video telling that we work together, how I help them, etc., etc., etc. And so the reason why I was also building this really irresistible offer was to build that library of referrals and testimonial videos. And once I had like a sort of enough stuff, I was able to process it, update my offer, make it a bit better, and stuff like that, and then scale it to the next level. So one of the other things that I did while I was sort of running this was capturing really important data and information, because I needed to be sort of really robust on the way I was working with these guys to be able to show the results and what kind of results I was getting them, etc., etc. So one of the things that I did is that every client was onboarded into a platform where I was sort of setting up OKRs for them. OKRs. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of OKRs, but OKRs stands for objectives and key results. Objectives and key results. It's different from KPIs. OKRs are a bit different. And let me see if the upload is going to happen here. Boom. Okay, there you go. So I hooked them onto this platform where you can sort of create your OKRs. And so what I did is that for about 2 months, so I gave them, so what happened was for the first client, I gave them about 2 months for free before they sort of started paying. And for the first 2 months, I was able to collect data and get them onto this OKR approach. And with this OKR approach, what I did was really capturing everything that they were doing to make sure that I was getting really good information. So I'm going to show you some of the OKRs that I had with these folks. Boom. Let me just check that while it's uploading. Boom, there you go. So some of the OKRs, I apologize, some of them are in French because some of my clients are francophones. But the idea of the OKRs is that I really wanted to have performance indicators and action indicators, etc. And so I would make sure that they were moving the needles. And so for this client, one of their goal was to make 15k euros. When I started with them, they had a very, very low retention rate, so they were losing customer every month. They had to get new ones constantly, etc. So we focused on retention, so get a volume of retention about 4k, and they had different offers, etc. And so the idea was to move the needle so that they went from trying to make 15k to actually making the 15k, making sure that the retention was also increasing for 4,000 to 6,000, increasing the number of clients as well. So I was sort of monitoring how much money was coming from the retention and from how much people it was coming from. So here they're at what month was that? That was October. So in October they had only 3 clients in retention. Then we moved to 4. Increasing the volume of retention, etc. And so all these data, I'll compile all these data and then went back to social media and writing content, etc. But what really, really clicked was people referring, people bringing me clients bringing me more clients. And the more I was sort of progressing with their goals, and the more they were realizing they were progressing with their goals, they were easily referring more people. And so what happened was one group referred to another group, who referred to two other group, who sort of referred me to sort of 3 people. And that's how I was able to build like a base of 5 clients. And what happened was when I was clear on my framework and my process and sort of making sure like the way I was delivering the stuff was better and better, I started to raise the price. So this last client that I have is now at 500. Boom. There you go, at 500. So what happened was here was 350. So then the next one got the 350 deal. Then this one got a 350 deal as well. Then this one got a 350 deal for a limited time, so that after 3 months they'll go to 500. And then the last one, they get to 500 right away. And so the idea now is to just get maybe 2 or 3 people at 500, and then I'll increase the price. I'll actually reduce the discount. Boom. And what happened was, so to answer what the question said, but when did the Skool happen? So the Skool happened exactly when I was here. So what happened was, I was having these guys hooked, and the only thing that they were paying was for a small subscription. So I was charging them like $30 for the analytics tool that I showed you here. And so the minute that these guys recommended me to the next 3 ones, I thought, okay, I probably have some product market fit. And then this is where I introduced the Skool. So when I created my Skool, I already had a pool of 4 paying members, and the 5th one came in and discovered the Skool, and so was sort of even more interested in the service. And that's basically how I was able to sort of get to, I actually gave a lot of distance in this stuff. No, there he is. So that's how I was able to sort of go from 0 to nearly 2,000. So just a quick summary is, find the first client, work for free, then get them to pay a little fee. Then this client referred me to another one, get them to work for a little fee as well. Then they recommended me another one, actually 2 other ones. And then I said, okay, now I'm going to drop the paid stuff, and everyone converted to the paid stuff. So I said, okay, cool, let's go create the Skool. And then I invited all of them into the Skool. That got me my four clients. And then the 5th client came in and joined the Skool as well. So that's how I was able to do the 0 to what? No, please don't. Okay, let's pause. That's how I was able to go from 0 to nearly 2,000 in just a month. So now, a couple of questions that I had during the some of the posts that I wrote. Let me have a look. Let me show you some of the questions. Okay, so one of the questions that I had was where the members came from, so that I addressed. I was already on social media. I was still posting content on LinkedIn. I was actually sharing those social proof on the LinkedIn, so that helped quite a lot. The next question is, next question was, how many did you offer the service for free for? So essentially what I did was I offered the service for free to 3 folks. 2.5, I would say, because one of the folk quickly converted into paid. But the first guys, I worked for free with the consulting, and then gave them like free advice. I mean, not exactly free advice, because I asked them like to take a subscription for this thing so I can help get the OKRs. The second group, same thing. I worked for free for about a month and a half, but they took like the subscription with this thing. And I worked for them for about a month and a half to 2 months, which helped me collect tons of data of how their business was operating, what were their performance and stuff like that. And as soon as I started to really move the needle, they started to see the value of that stuff. Then this is where I started to tease them about a paying subscription. That's pretty much all the questions that I have. Yeah, the last, I think it's okay. That's all the questions. Boom, that's it. Let me know if you have any more questions. Let me know if it was clear enough. Maybe I was just sort of mumbling. And if you have any more questions or stuff like that, write them in the comments down below. I'll answer all the questions. Or if you are on the Skool, send me a DM and let me know how I can help you, if I can help you move as well into this community. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this 30-minute video, and hopefully you'll also get some really cool results. But until then, boom.